It's Monday the 15th of March. Welcome to the BreakFast show. I'm your host Mark Anthony, and I'll be honest with you, I am struggling this morning. Our email server went down on Friday, and as I'm broadcasting this, the situation is still just about rectifying itself. So if I seem like I'm running at half power with one arm tied behind my back, that's because I am. We will get to the news headlines in a second, but let's start, as always, with some celebrity birthday shout-outs. Many happy returns to singer Terence Trent D'Arby, a man whose career burned brightly and all too briefly. He had a number of hits, but if you want a real taste of the man's talent, I can highly recommend a song called Let Her Down Easy. You can thank me for that later. My apologies for that. We've got, as we always seem to have these days, we've got Virgin Media working just up the road, and they've warned us that we're going to have an intermittent connection throughout the day. So I'm going to get back to the show right after this.
If you enjoyed this show, please consider supporting us. Go to buymeacoffee.com/Demolition News.
So yesterday, a successful controlled blast brought down 3 stacks at the Wood River power plant over in Illinois. According to local news reports, the implosion went off without a hitch. The dust suppression on the system, odd that we should be looking at that, but the dust suppression on the system, on the blast rather, was carried out by a company called HKD Blue, who are big friends of ours over on Instagram. And they've been very kind enough to send us some footage, some exclusive footage actually, of the blast. Here you go. I do love that smoke ring effect. Apparently the power station's main building was filled on the 1st of February. I'll need to check back because I'm not entirely sure if we covered that one or not. Now, a contractor has been fined £42,000 after a worker was burned by a heated sheet of tin when a fire broke out on a demolition site. Leeds Magistrates Court has heard how on 18th of September 2018, contractor Walden Builders Limited was demolishing an outbuilding in Ripon. During the work, an excavator being used struck a wall containing a 415 volt cable, causing it to arc and to ignite a fire. Efforts to put out the fire include holding a sheet of tin to shield the surroundings. And unfortunately, the tin heated and dropped onto an operative who was working on the site, causing burn injuries to the scalp, arm and hands. An HSE investigation found that the company had received a quote from Northern Power Grid for installation of a new service termination equipment. The company failed to act on the quote and instructed the power company to terminate the power to the building. So Walden Builders of Littlethorpe in Ripon has pleaded guilty to safety breaches and been fined £42,000 and ordered to pay almost £5,000 in costs. Now, I find myself strangely torn on this one. Let's have a look. Demolition work on a gas holder in Reading has been halted after a protected peregrine falcon was spotted on the structure. The site at Alexander Turner Close in East Reading is due to be replaced with flats, but work to take down the structure will now be postponed so an ecologist can carry out a survey. The dismantling of gas holder number 4 was originally scheduled to start today, but after the falcon was spotted perching on the tower by residents, the work has been postponed. How frustrating must that be for the demolition contractor? All set to start and then halted by a bird or two. I'm all for the protection of wildlife, but should it really be allowed to stand in the way of demolition and construction this way? I'll leave you to decide. You can find out more about that one over at demolitionnews.com. And finally for today, British equipment manufacturer JCB is supporting a massive humanitarian effort in Afghanistan, supplying equipment to help clear minefields. Landmine clearance charity the Halo Trust is operating a fleet of JCB machines in Afghanistan, and they will soon be joined by the latest addition, an armour-plated X-Series tracked excavator. Halo's program in Afghanistan is the largest humanitarian landmine clearance project in the entire world. 4 modified JCB models, a 457ZX wheel loading shovel, a JCB Hydro Dig, a JCB Tally Truck, and an 8008 micro excavator already play key roles. And the new heavily armoured JCB 220X is set to arrive shortly. Each features Halo's standard white livery, denoting the neutral humanitarian nature of the activity, along with varying levels of machine protection dependent upon the threat level. The cab on the new JCB 220X has been protected with blast-resistant armour plating and will be deployed to tackle the highest threat level in the region, which comes from pressure plate IEDs apparently. It's fitted with a quick hitch so it can quickly change between a general digging bucket and a rake attachment, which is very effective at finding and safely dislodging mines from the ground. Now, our colleagues over at diggersandozers.com have put together a very short film on that. I'm going to play it for you now, but you can find out more over at diggersandozers.com if you so desire. Here's the film. Now, while I've been talking, our email has actually just burst back into life, and one of the things that's been flagged up here from the good folks over at the Builders Conference is a tender that's out for bidding at the moment for the extension of a warehouse up in Northallerton. Not of primary interest in demolition circles, you would think, but apparently it will require the demolition of an existing building before the warehouse is extended. Now, I'm struggling to read this because the type is very small and I can't actually, because of the system I'm in, I can't actually make it any bigger, but apparently it is a demolition of existing building, construction, new extension, existing warehouse and factory. It looks like the client is a company called Frenary International up in Skelmersdale. That job is out for bid, as I say, at the moment. Apparently the estimated value is £2.25 million, although I don't suppose for one moment all of that is demolition related. We also understand that Lindburn Group and Castle House Construction are vying for the main construction, so you know that one's hot off the press, as we say. So Frenary International is the client. The architect is, I can't even read that, Roan Design, possibly, based up in Shipley. So yeah, there's a nice little one coming in there, 2.25 million for a Monday morning. Probably their starting point would be the client itself, which, as I say, is I'm going to say it one more time, Frenary International, based up in Skelmersdale. So if you are up that way and are active up that way, now might be a good time to get in touch with those folks. I think that's just going to be about wrap it up for us today. Sorry it's been a little bit disjointed. As I say, a combination of our email being down and also Virgin Media deciding to dig up the road just as I'm about to go live. It's like they're out to get me sometimes. But that will do me for today. I'm going to be back here again, same time, same place tomorrow, 10 a.m. with the BreakFast show. That was number 16 in the bag, and number 17 tomorrow. If I don't see you before, I shall see you then. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.